Hello, welcome back. I am Savalian, a software dev and creative, and I also make videos about game development, games, creativity, and today we're going to do a little bit of lifestyle content or organizational content. We're going into the month of May in a couple days, and I know this doesn't happen for everyone, but I always get that blank slate feeling at the start of a new month. And as you'll see in an upcoming video, I recently crossed a sort of milestone for my game project, so I'm starting a new phase of development for that too. And meanwhile, we have finally gotten out of winter. You could call it spring, but really we stopped having constant cold rain and now it's 80 degrees and sunny, so we kind of just went straight into summer. But all of this together really feels like a moment, a transitional period. So this month I'm going to do a little reset, a little refresh, get back in touch with myself and my space and my plans, and I'm inviting you to experience it with me. My reset activities actually started on Friday night when I refreshed my look by bleaching my hair. I hadn't touched up my roots in I think months. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with it. I did a pretty significant haircut first. I always cut my own hair for better or for worse, and I did this before the panini as well. I just really hate hair salons. But my method usually involves tying my hair up with hair ties in certain orientations based on like Pinterest tips. I didn't love my initial results. I did it a little wrong. I made it too long in the back. And then I tried a few other things to balance it out. Basically, I just kept snipping until it was kind of okay. Not my best haircut, but you know what it is? It's new. So, mission accomplished. I can't film myself actually bleaching my hair because I do it naked to avoid staining my clothes. But here's how it looks when I'm all done. So step 1, a fresh new look is complete. I will dye it as well, but I don't think I'll have time to do it during our little monthly reset here. And then Saturday is when I started tackling everything else. All of my mornings look the same. I have to feed Victor, my bird, I have to take the dog out to do his business, and I have to feed the kitties their breakfast. 66% of our cats can't eat dry kibble for various reasons, so we have to feed them separate dishes of wet food and keep an eye on them so they don't fight each other for it. It's like a whole thing. After this I usually eat breakfast, but today I know it's going to be 80 degrees in the afternoon, so I'm starting on my next activity, which is yard work. We used to pay gardeners to keep up the yard, but they were getting very expensive and we had a lot of other financial things come up, so we could not afford it anymore. So about a month ago we canceled that service and now I do the yard work myself. Today I'm pulling weeds and applying a new homemade weed spray I found a recipe for on the internet. It's mostly made out of vinegar. I don't really like the idea of putting like actual poison outside, so I've been trying a few different less toxic things that will still kill the weeds. I did get some good weeding done. I need to get like a mat or something to put down because bending and crouching is killing my weak gamer body. But I pulled almost a whole bucket of little weeds out of the ground and I sprayed down some patches to see if this new recipe for the weed spray works. After yard work, I was super sweaty and still hadn't eaten a proper breakfast, even though it's almost lunchtime. So I had some yogurt with sunflower seed butter and jam, and I made some coffee. When I do the weeding, I don't actually like to enjoy the outdoors. Instead, I put on my wireless headphones, and today I put on some long YouTube videos. They were mostly like Pokemon Nuzlocke videos. While eating, I finished the YouTube videos I put on during yard work, and I played a very specific challenge run of Diplomacy is Not an Option that I've been trying to beat for weeks. It is so hard. I lost. Then it was time to feed the cats their lunch and get into the next big reset activity, cleaning my desk space. I did change out of my sweaty gardening clothes and also put on my Claire de Lune wrap. It's one of my favorite things I've ever knitted, but it's often too cold to wear it, but since this new month came with a change in seasons, it felt appropriate to put it on for the first time of the year. Before I got started on actually cleaning, I fertilized my ferns for the first time. They are probably dying, and I'm sure it's my fault. The one next to my desk looks slightly less dead, but the one behind my desk is basically a skeleton. I don't know if the fertilizer will help, or if it's even the right kind. I've never been very good at houseplants, but I'm trying. I water them. I do. I've never missed a watering. Gosh, they look so bad. Cleaning out my desk space, I first cleared the clutter off my desk and wiped it down for dust. A nice fresh workspace to start the month of May. And when cleaning, I always work my way from top to bottom, so I did the desk, and then I did the floors. I used my new Dyson vacuum to slurp up all the extra dirt and dust and bits of my dying ferns. It's probably time for me to dust out my PC as well, but I don't think I have the energy to do that this weekend, so that will just have to wait a little bit. When I lifted up the edge of the rug in Crowley's area, our dog, I found this weird dust underneath. I have no idea what it is. I don't know if the rug is like disintegrating or if it's something else, but it was pretty gross. I was gonna shred some old documents today and clear out my document drawer, but my partner woke up around 1 and mentioned that he wanted to go to the grocery store, so instead I spent a little bit of time making a grocery list, planning out some meals, and taking a shower, which honestly all of these things feel like a fitting monthly reset activity anyway, and at this point it was over 81 degrees inside of our office, and we didn't realize until we left for the grocery store that the air conditioning was not on. Oh man, so I was suffering for nothing. We turned the air conditioner on and it cooled down pretty good. We went to the grocery store and it was fine, but my feet and knees started hurting real bad. I kind of did too much today, too much standing, too much moving, but we got the food. We picked up Taco Bell on the way home, and I played more Diplomacy is Not an Option while I ate. I lost. And now that my space is clean and my fridge is full, I moved on to the next part of my reset, which is a little bit more preparation focus, planning focus. You won't know this properly until next week or so when I publish the vlog where I talk about this, but I just finished the last feature of my game. It's not done yet, but all of the pieces are done and it all works together and it's all there. So this past week I went through and I updated my list of things that I need to do for the next phase of game development, where I add a lot more content, fix some bugs, sort of finish everything up. And I have these tasks in Notion categorized and kind of put in something of an order, and I want to put them on my Kanban whiteboard. So I have these little magnetic cards that I can write things on and move around on the board that I use for like a Kanban setup. I got them on Amazon. They're really fun. It's not a particular brand or anything, but I sat down on the floor and I went through all of my notes and updated the tasks. Some of them were already on there from when I did this process before. But 20 minutes later, I had a fresh new whiteboard and an updated plan for my game development project. Woo! The last reset activity is getting my Notion week filled in and migrated over to the next week. This isn't really a monthly thing, I do this every week, but it is part of resetting for like a new time period. This is much easier for me to do now that I've built out my new Notion templates. If you are interested in the template I'm using, you can buy it from my Ko-fi, which will be linked below, or you can build one of your own. I have a video about, well, I have two videos. I have one where I talk about the template and how to use it, and then I have another much longer video where I talk about how I built the template, and I actually show the entire build from start to finish. So you don't have to buy it, you can build your own. I have all the steps I did out there for you to watch. Now, when I'm going from one week to the next, the first thing I do is fill in any progress that I need to fill in, check off the tasks that are done. If I want to update any metrics or create any new tasks, I will do that now as well. But this week, I think I'm good to just sort of update things and move along. If I have a task that I didn't do, in order to keep the progress accurate for this week, I will set this one to didn't do. So it's a complete status, but it's different than the done status. So it does not include it in measuring progress. And then if I want to move that task forward and still complete it, I will duplicate it and move that duplicated task to the next week and sort of reset it so it's to do and that there's no progress on it. And this, like I said, is so that I can have like week 4 has I didn't do that, and it's counting that missing progress to keep things accurate, and then the new one I have a chance still to redo it. And then I'll spend some time writing out a few notes at the end of the week under the retrospective section, and that's pretty much it. Since I went in and filled all my tasks in ahead of time with my button automations, it made it very easy. I don't really need to create anything new or do any serious rearranging. Each week I just adjust these little things that I missed, migrate tasks to the new week, and it's ready to go. So that's my reset routine for this month, and it does change month to month. If you want to design a routine for yourself, it'll probably look very different from mine. We're all different and we're all changing. In fact, I've done other videos before, I think at least one, where I did a sort of monthly reset, and it was, predictably a little bit different than this one. This month, what I really needed was a clean space, a clean look, and a bit of a break to think about my upcoming game work from a planning perspective. So I just needed a little bit of space to do that, and so that's what I did. And now I think I'm gonna play some Plate Up. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a great upcoming month. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I'll be back soon with another video, and I hope to see you there. Bye bye.